Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie and Corina, psych investigators.
Hello, everybody.
Okay,
Hello.
hello. So I'm going to do the protection and then we start. I'd like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head. As I breathe in, I fill my lungs. As I breathe out, I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources. That I create the good and only the good, and so it is. And by the way, guys, just I wanted to tell you that we're doing the intro after the recording because uh, we have come to the realization that it's much better when we do like a conversation format, and then so that it flows, right? And then
Hmm.
I'm gonna once I stop the recording, I'm just gonna will it will feel like a bit of a jump, but it will make sense in the end. Okay. All right. So
Yes.
thanks for watching. All right.
Thank you. Okay. Bye.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So, anyway, you sent me the recording of um, Joe
What I
Biden
did
at
at the airport,
the
right?
airport that somebody asked you to send me.
Mm-hmm.
And, they sent it to both of us and asked you to pass it along.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I watched that, I immediately saw like a gas pedal.
Mm,
And the gas pedal was being revved up.
mm,
And what it showed me was, oh my gosh, Rosie, the light around him
mm,
was so bright in that moment. And I just started to, like, I could feel the life force in him.
mm,
And I got so excited because I felt that the people created that life force. The people created that life force for him. So and then when you sent me the next one with the flower that she planted, that you got an email
okay.
from one of
Mm-hmm.
your clients, or that she planted the flowers around the box and they were
Mm-hmm.
they were Biden
Mm-hmm.
again. So this time it showed me two things. Oh, it was great. Biden has this light around him that is so massively bright, and it showed me Trump
Mm,
and the light around him. Well, there is no light
mm,
around him, it's just darkness. It's black, gray, sludge, tar, that thing. But what's interesting was the more people gave the light to Biden,
mm.
the darker Trump got.
How
So
interesting.
it was so interesting, Rosie. It works. It really, it does work, because it was the gas pedal for Biden and the suction for Trump. And the more we give that light, and Biden can feel that. He's a spiritual man. His soul and his spirit feels that from us. But Trump, on the other hand, he feels the downfall.
Huh.
And the more light that goes to Biden, the more he's shriveled. He can't handle it. He can't handle when other people are better than him, more popular. And this is something that is you know, a spiritual godly thing
Mm-hmm.
that, somebody like Trump can't handle. So the more life force Biden gets, the
Mm.
less life force Trump gets.
Huh.
Yeah. So, and it did show us making a difference in that. And that, anytime we focus, that was another thing. It showed me how that light that we gave to Joe was so joyous, and it was
Mm,
so pure, and it was so loving.
mm,
And then it showed Trump the chaos, the fear, the gaslighting. So the minute you step into all that, guess what
mm,
you're getting and you're feeling and you're supporting.
mm,
You know, doing it the way you do it as an observer is okay, but people are buy into the fear, which of course he's doing horrible things, but it does make a difference of how you direct that energy.
mm,
So that was really cool to be shown. So now, as this is happening,
mm,
with what I told you earlier with you, and then this stuff with
mm,
Joe,
mm,
the whole time I'm in the back of my mind, I can
mm,
hear
mm,
two songs,
Mm,
America the Beautiful
mm,
and our national anthem. It
mm.
was kind of like one song mixed with both of them together. I don't know, but I could tell it was both songs.
Mm.
And I could hear, remember when Kamala was on the ellipse?
What ellipse? I don't know. I don't
When
know.
she was making that one of her last speeches before the election, and she did it at the ellipse. I am saying that right?
What
Yeah.
is it? Is it a place?
That's the where the monument is, where they hold the inaugurations.
Oh, I see. Oh, no, no, I know. Okay.
And
Okay.
remember how crowded it was? And
Mm-hmm.
it was like when Obama was inaugurated, when President Obama was inaugurated, it was that crowded. And it was that
Mm-hmm.
I heard that scene, the
Mm,
crowd. I heard the crowd, and I could hear the songs playing,
mm.
and it felt so real. Like
Wow.
it felt, I went in immediate. I was chilling. I was vibing. I was freezing. This whole time, all three of these things were coming into me,
Mm,
and it felt like it was close.
mm,
I could hear it. I could feel it. I could sense it. It just felt so real. It felt so real.
mm.
And oh my gosh, it was it was wonderful. It was
Wow.
wonderful. But all three
Mm,
of those things were kind of coming at me at once.
mm.
So I had to tell you that because I felt like that tied into um, another question I had.
Record.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were saying, Corina, go ahead. You were saying about the 3 days of
Yeah.
darkness.
How we sometimes feel like things happen and then we've moved past it. We're ahead of it. But I felt like I personally have moved past the 3 days of darkness. Like I keep trying to see if it's still there. Do I feel it? But it feels like it's behind me.
Mm,
That feeling that I get when things are behind me, like it's in the past.
okay.
So I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like
So let's ask,
things have shifted again.
we can ask something like, are the days, let me just get my crystal. Yeah, so are the days of darkness
Ooh,
behind us? There's a question, right, Corina?
yeah, yeah.
So
I want
are
to see
the
what you come up with because I know how it was
so,
coming to me.
okay, so let's see. This is the protection. I'd like to ask for protection before you light. Comment on my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. Create a circle, step into a step into. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come out from the highest sources to create the good knowledge of service. Are the days of darkness behind us? In other words, could it still happen, or
Yes.
was it just averted? Is it
Or,
essentially,
yeah.
or okay, so what's going on? Saying I got a hand saying wait more. I think I literally just got, you're not out of the line of fire yet. So, okay.
So it's just me feeling like I've moved past, like it's already happened.
So, okay, so let's ask about you, Brandon. Corina's vision about the days of darkness. Does this mean that it's over? Or is that essentially what you're asking, Corina?
Yeah, because for me, it feels like it's in the past. Like either
Okay,
it's already
so
happened
does
and
this
I've moved
does this
past it, or
mean that the days of darkness, it is telling me this? No, it's about focus on the moment after all of this has transpired, is what I'm understanding. But okay, maybe let's find different ways to ask about it. So for example, I can ask, I got this AM radio, I got the battery, whatever, solar charger thing. Am I gonna use it or not? When I get to use it? Will I get to use it? Yeah, I still see this image of like a bump, when like suddenly there's no lights. It may not be as long. I still get. Can you ask? You can ask about me, Corina, and I can ask
okay,
about you. Will
okay,
Rosie need
okay.
to make sure everything is charged? And what are the supplies she's gonna need if she's gonna need it? You can ask like that. If you
Okay.
ask about me, then I can ask about you. I know, let's do this. You ask about me, I ask about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do
Okay.
that.
So let's ask. So
Okay.
go ahead, Corina.
I see you taking it out of the box, getting ready to use it. Like the lights have maybe power has maybe gone down, but it doesn't seem like it's very long at all.
No,
Like they almost like come back on before you even get situated, or it might be a little bit, but not long at all. I don't feel like it's long at all.
it tells me also that New York has been since, because when Sandy happened, it was, my parents were here. I was in Brazil, I think. So they said it was really long, and there was a lot. I think there was no water. There was just a lot of issues, a lot of stuff happening. And this is 2012. So I think since then the city took precautions for stuff like this.
Right,
So it
right,
may be prepared. And then but I see, so when I asked about you, I do see like I don't know, just you see more airplanes, helicopters, something around you more. And then you see, it's funny that it's like uh cloudy, and you can't hear, like you don't get any, I think you're hot, and then there's something. Do you happen to have a generator in the garage? Because I
no,
see like there's a garage door open and you're sweating a little because you're in Arizona, but I also don't feel like it lasts for long. It may be that I can't, you know how there are times when, because of how spotty your internet is, right?
right, right.
How like sometimes you don't know. So it may be that uh because it's saying the areas that are around military bases may have some sort of special status. I don't quite understand it, but something like this. And so I feel like, well, that's the extent of it.
Yeah. And I feel like I'll know that. Like I'll feel like I'll feel that. I feel like spirit's showing me. I know this is going to sound so weird, but a couple of weeks ago, Bob and I were driving, running some errands, and we were coming up on the stop sign, and up above in the distance, I could see a helicopter flying. And I said, ooh, ooh, that
Mhm.
helicopter, they're trying to save a life in there. They are jamming to get to the hospital as fast as they can. And he kind of looks like you can pick that up from that helicopter. And he actually, no, he didn't even say that. He goes, yeah, it looks like they're flying pretty fast. And you could tell because the helicopter was tilted towards the front and the tail was up a little bit. Like, helicopters just kind of glide along, but no, this one, because that's what I said. I said, look how fast that helicopter's on a mission. But I could just feel everything in there. I can feel that far away. You could just tell they were trying to save a life in that helicopter, trying to get to the hospital. It's the same feeling. But I pick up just, I don't know. It's different now. It's different.
So
But I
this,
think I'll be able to tell and it won't be as long.
okay, then I have a question out, because the thing that we saw, that there was a connection between the time without energy and then Trump leaving, being removed, I guess. Is this still on track to happen? I guess we can ask that, right?
Hmm.
Is that, I think that's part of the question. Is it on track to happen? Is it still on track to happen?
For him to be removed.
Yeah, because you know how,
Yeah.
remember how we saw that remember that the order was this, so that he would try something with the help of a foreign country to do this electric grid thing that would disrupt a lot of places. And
Hmm.
when that happens, they can do some sort of like want to be martial law. And that's when he does that. That is when he is removed, instead of him, going ahead with the plans, the shady plans.
Hmm.
So my question is, does it,
Yes.
if the process is shortened, does it make sense what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
does it then mean that
No, I don't think it has any. I don't think it has any interruption of how they're going to get him or anything like that. I feel like they're more prepared. I just feel like they're more prepared than we realize, I think.
Mm, okay.
That's kind of what I'm picking up. But
Mm,
I honestly, they're still going to get him that way because he's still going to pull trying to use our military.
okay. Okay.
It's almost like
Uh,
I see him trying to pick fights just to get the chance to use our military, just to say, well, we're going to put tanks and stuff over close to that area, so we're just going to park them in Russia, you know? So, no, he's still going to do that. He's
mm,
still going to try to get our military over to Russia somehow.
okay. And okay, and then oh, since we have his birthday, I think is June 14th. Is this going to happen? That event? Still, like I quite don't see it happening, but we'll see. Do we see it happening? Is this going to happen? Is he going to get the okay, okay, Karina?
Is it going to happen? I don't see it happening. But, I am very biased on that. So I could be throwing my own feelings into it too, but I don't see it happening. And even if it did happen,
Mm,
it's going to be the most embarrassing, fall flat, humiliation.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
honestly, even if it did happen,
mm,
it's going to be laughable. Like, what a fool. What a fool.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But I think we're going to be celebrating more Obama that day than anything. That's
mm.
what I've heard.
Okay, so okay, all right, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I want to say this, Karina. It's coming back to me for some reason when without asking the question necessarily directly, I saw this. He is getting darker and darker. Except, and then it goes back to the conversation at the beginning when you said Biden is so bright, and the brighter Biden
Mm-hmm.
is, the darker he becomes. And I feel that
Mm-hmm.
exactly. The darker things become for him, the quote unquote crazier or like more depraved he becomes with his comments.
Right.
And
Right.
so and so basically I see that that's what I keep seeing, and that by the time it does indeed happen, he's such a joke, and he gets even, and I see him even becoming more cruel, and if that's even possible, but more cruel and more
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know explain it, just more ridiculed. He's
Right.
ridiculed so much, and to the point where if it doesn't even happen, which I'm not sure really, I still get a possible no, but if it does happen, people like what is it when a person in an audience start ooh, like not just
Yeah.
boo but heckled is a word.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely. He'll be humiliated.
and so it's like the end, and he feels like if only he acts a certain way, because that's what he did, that was his con. He
Mm-hmm.
acted a certain way and people believed it, and he feels stuff for people's like, oh, he's scary, don't do this because he's going to react, like the whole thing like that.
Yeah.
And so now what happens is that he gets even worse, and then the whole thing, and I see interesting, it shows me a building collapsing, like it's not literal, I don't think the White House collapses, but you know what I mean, like it's like the house collapses in front of
Right.
him,
Right.
and it's over. So that's what I get. Wow, very
Yeah.
interesting. Wow. Okay. So doesn't make sense, but it wasn't necessarily. By the way, guys, I am turning on and off the video because there's something happening here in the somebody coming by, so I don't want to cause the distraction. But I guess we could talk. When he comes,
Yeah.
I will close again the video. But it's just a sense that that's why I see the image that there's no escape is what I get
No,
from
there
this,
is no way out
right?
anymore.
Mhm. That's it.
And
That's
the
why.
other countries sticking up and standing up to him,
Mhm.
he never expected that either. Think about all these other countries and even companies here and that have had enough are finally speaking up. So he just isn't powerful. He cannot control the narrative like he used to.
Mm-hmm.
And, he doesn't have Leon over there on his side looking like a fool either. So he's the one having to take the heat himself. It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. Putin's on him, you know. He hasn't given up his fight. So
Mm-hmm.
I just the things that come out of his mouth are more and more ridiculous. It's showing me an example of like Bruce Springsteen, how he's come out with this whole thing with Bruce Springsteen. And it's like, you look like a fool. You're supposed to be the leader of the free world and you're trashing Bruce Springsteen, Taylor Swift. You
Mm-hmm.
look like a fool.
Mm-hmm.
And people are starting to make him feel like a fool.
Mm-hmm.
So the brighter we can keep that light around Joe, you know, faster we can help this along
Mm-hmm.
because he can't handle that. He just can't handle it. They can't survive on goodness. And
Mm-hmm.
Joe brings that about in people. Look at all the love that he got. That was incredible. And that really helped his life force.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
and another thing I forgot to tell you after that is when I saw the two circles with Joe and Trump, after that, I felt Joe's presence. And this time, I didn't want to cry at all because he sat with me and it was so beautiful. And he basically he said, "Don't I have my purpose. I am here. I've had a wonderful life." He has had a wonderful life of love and loyalty from his family amongst all the hardships. So he was showing me that beauty of his life. And he had this, like I said, this life force about him that I've never seen from a person that's supposed to be on his
Mm-hmm.
way out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually see life force like that from somebody that's on their way out. Actually, I don't see that much, but there was a difference.
So, Karina, can we ask? It's interesting. She reminds me of a question about how the sending of energy. So, in other words, if we want, is it correct to say then that in order if we want to weaken trash, we send energy to Biden or Kamala,
Yep.
or and so right because instead of focusing the energy, saying
Yes.
focus, it's like focus, give the that's right. So create the image of each person creates the image of the America they want to see in their
Mm-hmm.
minds. And the person or persons they want to strengthen. It could be anyone that you feel empathetically connected to the present, the future, sending it. And because I keep seeing lately when I send energy, the importance of having this image in your mind, like almost like if you think of your focus on an image as cement, that the
Right.
more you focus on this image, the stronger and more manifest it becomes. And it
Exactly.
strengthens and it's saying there's X number of energy, like we can multiply the energy so much. And it doesn't have to
And
be like it's saying that the form in itself, it's like we saying it's much more important to focus and we can each it's saying it doesn't have to be on the exact same thing. But the point
mhm.
is that when we focus on what we want, the vibration is really high. So
Right.
some could pray for Biden, others could pray for Kamala, others could pray for the truth about election coming out. Different the outcomes that you care about the most, because then
Mm-hmm.
the vibration is really high. And
Exactly.
so that's actually very helpful.
It
Okay.
is. It really makes a difference because, think of the opposite. When you are focusing on all the fear and all the chaos and all the trash, you're just bringing yourself down to their level in that way. So the more you can focus on seeing the outcome that we see already, you
Mm-hmm.
and I have seen it. When we focus on that, it feels, look how we feel. so much
Mm-hmm.
better. We feel so
Mm-hmm.
much lighter when we go there. And to focus on Trump and all his ilk, that just brings everything down. So yes, it really makes a
So,
difference.
so let's say, so for example, when I saw yesterday the video about Trump's speech at West Point and Arlington, different ones, and that is maddening, right? So, if I ask Spirit, what would change? What would shift the vibration forward from that, feeling of anger and like I'm not despair, but it's like I can't believe this trash. Like, what would
Yeah.
be okay? Say, picture the veterans being honored and feeling welcome by the and not on because now the veterans are under attack. It's saying even the vision says so. We can picture veterans feeling being honored correctly, feeling respected by the White House, and so in a way you can erase the image of
Yes.
trash. If you can erase him from your mind, it could be even better. Or it could say you could picture the crowd cheering when they learn
Right.
he's gone. That's another image you
Yes.
could focus on. So
And you
like,
could even focus on the image of being proud of the leader that we have, them being proud of their leader. So it's a different leader. So focus on them being proud of a different leader. Put that image into your head of what you
mhm.
want, not what we're seeing, because that doesn't do us any good. Just,
So
create the outcome.
and it's sometimes I used to say this sometimes I see comments people say I'm afraid of X. So in that case, so for example, this is a normal feeling, like they're afraid that something could happen to Social Security. So
Yeah.
what is the opposite prayer saying? Cease Social Security being protected. See yourself receiving the check and say thank you for protecting Social Security. Does it make sense? Because the energy
Yes.
you're not putting, because I see that this is a trigger they use. They create a situation, they make everybody afraid. So everybody's hyper focused on the same.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we
Mm-hmm.
have to learn this is they're like they're trapping us energetically that way. The
Right.
way out of it is to instead ask what would be the easiest or fast, what image would change shift the vibration here. So right, it's
Yeah.
so
You
what would
know,
shift the circumstance? Okay.
it could shift it really fast. Yeah, I just saw an image. Remember when Trump was inaugurated the very first time and Melania was standing there and everybody was like, what did he say to her? Remember how fast her face went from smiling to frown?
Right.
He changed the energy of the situation in an instant.
Mhm.
That just shows you how fast you can change an energy. Because look at those kind of circumstances. That's the perfect example. Look how fast energy can be shifted and changed.
Mhm.
So you can do it too.
Right.
Anybody's
Right.
capable of that.
That's great. That's great.
Sorry, my thing buffered. So that's why I
No, no,
kind of went
no.
out there for a
It's okay.
second.
So wow, this is great, Karina. Really, this is great. This is great.
Yeah.
So okay, so just we'll pause 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking just off camera here about if because Putin is actually crazier too, just like we said about Trump. So does this mean that the end is near? What does he know about the end? Because and I saw this image of him pushing the acceleration pedal. Goodness. So let's see.
Hmm.
Let's see. Okay, let's see what's going on. So I'm gonna pause, Karina, because it's okay. So we're back here to the Putin vision. So we were just asking, right, about how Putin going crazy. I just want to say this about I see Putin pushing the accelerator pedal, and the accelerator pedal is all about this like pushing it's almost like he knows that whatever he thinks is in his acceleration is what people are afraid of. And he pushes to do it. And then he's like, I have more, more. But as he pushes the accelerator, he does it, whatever the threat is. And then he runs out. It's over. Like he gets to the bottom of the accelerator thing, and and then he has nothing left.
Yeah.
That's what I realized, that the threat, it's not that he was an empty threat, it's that actually he believed that he had more to threaten with than what he actually did. And then he realizes he's run out of it's like it's not ammunition, but whatever. It's like the whole evil theater that he does, right? Like, be
Right.
careful, I'm gonna go after you. I have nuclear bombs, I have this. So he does the threat that he had threatened, and it does it not work, or like it's not as bad? And he's saying he's stopped. It's all the above. He's saying he's stopped. He's like maybe he's partially stopped. Whatever he does not work all the way. And the bluff, they call the bluff. Does it make sense? It
Hmm.
exposes the weakness that they have. And then it's like I see him like almost like being fried or something. And then he goes, he's eliminated. So that's what so the answer to the beginning is that does he, it's like he's like, no, it's the time to put, and I see that he's had his whole life this thirst for this moment where he's going to push the pedal and go all the way. But
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
happens. This moment happens, but it's not as scary as they thought it was going to be to people. So that's what I
Yeah.
got. So anyway,
Yeah.
now go ahead.
It
Then I
fizzles out. It just fizzles out. He just doesn't have anything left. I could tell it's like I got this weird smell. He could smell the end coming. He could just smell it. It's his existence ending. He has nothing left. There is no ammunition, there's no people, there's no support, there's no money, there's there's no mental capacity left. I mean, Putin's running out of his um, life force, just like Trump. That's what they're showing me right now. It's the same thing. I'm just going to call it life force because that's what they're showing it to me as. It's life
Mm.
force, and he's running out of it. He just doesn't have anything left, and the last hurrah is coming, which for him is going to be, you know, whatever he can try to pull off, he's going to do. But I don't see it being successful at all because everybody is so onto him already. It's like his tactics are not new, his threats are not new. They know what to watch for. I don't think he gets away with anything other than his own causing his own demise. He causes his own demise,
Oh,
like
okay.
they all do.
Okay. And it's as you're saying this, I saw this image of felon, whatever his name, how do you call it, Felonia, like
Yeah, Leon.
I love how you used to always say he's glitching.
He's glitching. Yeah. I'll do the sounds. You do the faces. I'll do the sounds.
And it's just like he's like twitching and glitching, and it's almost like they pulled, because I see also as Putin goes down, he pulls the plug on everything, because
Yeah,
like just like all the evil people, they're like, I'm going, but so are you.
I'm taking you
They
all
don't
with
want,
me.
that's right. He doesn't want others to. And I think it's because I've said before, I believe it because I've been looking at this whole Tesla scam for years. I think it's clear that the way that Tesla makes money is not by selling cars, but by uh the stock price, right? It's pumping down,
Yeah,
they're pumping and
just
artificially
pump it up.
pumping.
Yeah,
And I do think that there's wash trading happening with related to state actors connected to Russia. I believe it. And that I see that he plugs, uh, it's plugged off when he goes. He's given orders, just plug it out. And then the price collapses, like really collapses, because that's what keeps the price up. Because the thing about stock, the Tesla stock, is whenever there's a bad announcement, the stock magically goes up. It's the opposite of normal
yeah.
activity.
Isn't that ironic?
Yeah, and so that mechanism is deactivated,
Yeah.
and so he collapses truly. So the whole wow, and then I see, there was one time when in the Halloween, one time I wore a Halloween costume of a dinosaur. The ones, it's so funny. I think it
It
was a dinosaur, one of those, like the
was
ones
the
that.
lion? Wasn't it the lion?
No, I have the
Was it?
lion, but it's like one of those that you. Or was it the sumo wrestler one? I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking
the
about?
sumo wrestler. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I have one of those. Oh no, it's the alien. Remember, I have you seen the one? I am captured by an alien trying to run
Yes.
away.
Oh my God, I love those.
So it's like that. It's like deflated. The costume is deflated. They're all deflated. because it was a fake. All of this is
All
inflated
of this, all
artificially.
of this.
And I see that Putin, wow, and I see, with Putin with the air pump, he's the one that creates the illusion. He's the circus master that
Yeah,
creates
yeah,
himself the illusion. Once he's gone, the
mhm,
illusions go too.
yeah.
How interesting.
It is. It
Really
has always been
interesting.
a circus.
Wow. Okay.
He's the ringmaster.
Wow, 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 wow.
And Putin doesn't want anybody to survive if he's not going to survive. So
That's
that's his
right. That's
mentality.
right. That's
So
right.
that's why he's going to try something crazy because that's just him. He's just, he'll go down in flames. He doesn't care,
Yes.
but he'll definitely go down.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
so exciting.
And I'm getting that um, a little message now, how we talked earlier that I felt like things were behind me
Mm.
because I tend to feel things, I move forward most of the time before I feel things before others is what I'm trying to get out. I think that's what I was feeling. I'm already past that. Feels like I'm already past that. So hopefully it's coming soon.
Yes, yes. So very good. Okay, there was something else I would say. Okay, what was it about? Okay, so let's see. So, so I had this question I just asked actually about was on my mind for a while. So you know how this is the astrologers, they say that this Pluto era, I think something like that, it means that all, and we talk about it between us right now informally,
Mm-hmm.
something like the people that represent this era up to now, they will like, and I see this, the Wheel of Fortune from tarot, where
Yeah.
like it shifts, this shift
Mm-hmm.
again of like all the people that had the sun, they were facing the sun, then like, ooh, it changes. There's a real
Mm-hmm.
flip. And
Yep.
even the people that we don't know that much about that were like, um, that were like sometimes good people, even it's if they were really successful now, fortune is likely to change for them because there is room for others. It makes sense. It's like
Yeah.
it's a true new era that we're starting. That's what I got.
And
So
honestly, Rosie, you and I have always seen that. Remember?
that's right. That's
We've
right.
always
That's
seen
right.
that.
That's
That's
right. So
exactly what we've always seen.
wow,
That now
wow.
it's time for the people
Mm-hmm.
that had done all the work, have gone through all this. It's time for their success. The people that need to go through it now, it's going to be a little bit challenging for them.
Yes, yes.
But
So
that's okay. We deserve to be successful. Everybody that's been working hard, that has not always had that success, I feel like it's time for them to be successful. It's that big shift change that I've seen for years coming.
right, that's right. Yeah. So that's great, and I really love it. And wow, that's exciting, isn't it? That's
It is
exciting.
exciting. It feels exciting. I back to that energy of feeling that. For me, I have felt that energy this weekend, or I always say
Mm-hmm.
weekend. I never know what day it is, but it's what? It's only Monday, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But I did. I felt that change a little bit again over the weekend.
Mm,
And who knows, maybe that was because it was Memorial Day, but I did feel another little shift.
mm.
I think that's why all that stuff came in yesterday.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to find it. Okay. The whole thing about the flower. I want to show people that, but it's okay,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Because that, between that video and that flower, that kind of sparked my visions.
Okay, there it is. Okay, I found it. Okay, so I'm gonna show this to you guys. Okay, so because we talked about it at the beginning. Okay, so okay. You guys see this? So Judy sent me this. Let's see so I can read it. 1 second. Hi, Rosie. I wanted to show you the flowers that I planted around my light post. Look at the name. I had to have them. Show this to Corina. Love your posts and videos, Rosie. I have been Morley Judy. So Biden's blazing glory. How amazing.
I
I feel
know.
like, right. And this triggered a what is it called? How would you describe it, Corina? What you had, this like visions, these visions you had,
Yes.
really, that's how it is, right?
Yep.
That's why we call it.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
okay.
It triggered all that for me.
So that's, that's great. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Judy.
Mhm.
Thank you. Because sometimes people, when you just, you read something, it just it triggers it. So I did get all those visions based on the video of him walking through the airport. And then when
Yes.
she sent me along the message,
Mm-hmm.
it just rolled in.
Very good, very good. So that's that. That's it for today,
Yeah.
right, Karina? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right. So let me stop. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon. See you
Prayer
tomorrow.
and energy time. Let's use this time to send energy to people healing and going through complex health challenges. Their bodies need the energy we send them. Bo, recuperating from intestinal surgery at the Mount Sinai Hospital, battling cancer and winning. I spoke to her today and I felt her mother telling me she will survive and thrive. Cecilia, her sister, visits her daily. Cecilia is herself also battling cancer, and she's also winning. Bella is also undergoing cancer treatment. Let's envision her pain free and 100% cancer free. Treatment. Let's send Bo, Cecilia, and Bella energy. Bo, Cecilia, and Bella are fully healed, full of energy, cancer free, and proud to tell this story of great health and recovery. Okay, so I'm just going to be silent for a bit as I send them energy right now. And I hope you do the same. And also, you can think of others that you know, your loved ones, someone that you feel may be in need of energy, and focus on them. Okay? Okay, so let's start. I'll be silent here for a little bit. Thank you again. Let's create this circle of energy around them. And so it is.